Good morning, travelers. As you can see, the cards are already out. How this spread came about, I got up early this morning and was kind of piddling around, and the lovely Christelle posted a video this morning. It was a card of the day, and the message that she gave with the card was about inspiration, and her video did indeed inspire me. After I saw the video, I came in. And I just purchased a new book a few days ago, and I picked the book up, and it fell open to a page. It was actually, it's called The Birth of Tragedy by Friedrich Nietzsche, and the line was, "This is a dream, and I want to go on dreaming." Yes, that's very heavy reading for 5:30 in the morning, but uh, it was a message. Um, Last week was absolutely a great week for me. Everything seemed to be falling into place. This week, everything seems to be going to hell in a handbasket, and it's only Wednesday. So I just have to make it a few more days and I'll get through it. But the line prompted me to consider dreams. What are dreams? What do they mean to us? Uh, what role do they play in our lives? And it got me to thinking, and this is kind of metaphysical, so kind of bear with me. I'm not a guru and I don't know everything, but it just got me to thinking that what if we exist in two dream states? The accepted dream state of the unconscious, where we do have our dreams, and within those dreams we don't have any control over what happens, but also a conscious dream state in which we're able to, or we try to manifest those things that we want for ourselves, how we envision ourselves and our lives to be. And I'm going to tell you that I have a vision that relates to relationships. Now, I think this is the last Pluto-Saturn conjunct, and that thing's been slapping me upside the head. I think it's been going on since 2012, and it's been slapping me upside the head in a lot of areas in my life. And what that meant was that, I needed to go back and reassess, review, do some work, clean up some crap, and get on with it. But the one area where I have completely been missing the mark is the area of romance. And Neptune has been transiting my seventh house of partnerships, marriage, and relationships for a number of years now. And I will tell you that I have, in the past 8 months, have had the most extraordinary experience concerning romance, love, partnership. And if I were to tell you about it, it would be a 20-hour video, and you'd be like, TMI. What are you talking about? So I'm not going to go into it. But what Christelle's video did, and seeing the line about dreaming and coming up with this idea or pondering on this idea, made me come to grips with the kind of relationship that it is that I'm looking for. And I'm just going to tell you what kind of relationship that is. It is a relationship in which I find a partner who is like, in some respects, a father to me. He is someone who's going to guide me, lead me, nurture me, love me unconditionally. That's the key, right? But also give me the freedom to find myself, to be who I am, and to try to help me to be the best person that I can be, not only for the relationship, but for myself and the world in general. I lost my father some 20 years ago, and I miss him dearly. Now, I think deep down I've always known this. I just haven't really come to grips with the type of relationship I wanted, and I wasn't able to really be honest with myself about, how much it plays into missing my father and that type of relationship I had with him. So I said, well, let me get the cards and see, what is it really that I'm looking for out of this relationship? And, I started to lay the cards, and let me show you what I laid out. I got the Three of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. And as I was looking over the cards, I thought, well, you know what, that's okay. I kind of get that. But I really wanted to go a little bit more in depth as to what is it? What is my dream all about in terms of this relationship? So I laid out 5 more cards. The Two of Pentacles, the High Priestess, who does not bode well when she shows up in a relationship reading. Oh, there he is, people. That stinking Hangman, which represents represents the Neptune. Yeah, there he is. Who's that, people? It's the Four of Cups. Need I say more? And the Ace of Swords. There's some truth in this card. So in order to see if what this was really about in terms of healing, I guess, the pain and the hurt of losing my father, if that was the reason why perhaps I'm struggling so in my romantic life, I flipped over the bottom of the deck, and there was the Emperor, the very archetype of the father within the tarot. He represents logic and reason, guidance, protection, care, and also compassion. So that told me that I was on the right track. Hold on one second. I had my TarotOracle cards out. I think I put the box back in, and I wanted to show you what came out with those at the end of the reading. It's quite extraordinary reading, really. So once I got all 10 cards together, this is what I came up with. And I'm going to frame this in a general aspect. That way, somebody else maybe will get something out of this. What do we want basically in our lives? Yeah? We want joy, friendship, happiness, good family, good friends. We want to experience the joys in life. This is a dream because not everybody has it. We want to be able to try something new to help expand ourselves, to have self-growth, to learn new things, to become better people for ourselves, our loved ones, and the world in general. And I don't always consider coins to be financial stability. That is an important factor to have in your life, but this could also be a spiritual gift. Your wealth is in your health. We are told that we need to try to strive to become better people, and that requires a lot of spiritual seeking. We want recognition, honor, and respect. We want to always try to continue to move forward towards our dreams, yes, with a glad heart. That sometimes we are not able to do this and it feels like a battle, you know. But that in order to sometimes just to get through life, you need to hold firm to your dreams, because life without a hope or a dream is very bleak indeed. That sometimes obstacles come in our way, where we sometimes are maybe not able to see how we're going to achieve our dream. We've got so much else going on. We're trying to juggle things. We're trying to do different things. We're being pulled in different directions. This can cause us extreme emotional imbalance. You see the guy standing on one foot, just trying to keep it all together. We try to keep all the balls up. And in doing this, sometimes we may sometimes forget about our dream or lose sight of it. That during those times, we should try to keep in mind that there is some divine intervention. Even though we have some control, there is some divine intervention in the journey of our dreams, and that we should trust the process of it. We all know that there are going to be times when we are going to be required to stop, suspend ourselves, change our perspective, view our dream in a different way, maybe how we should approach it. That sometimes we should not just rush headlong into chasing our dreams, that our energy would be better spent focused on those things that are going to yield tangible results towards our dreams. That we should always remember there is some truth in all those things said. So the first thing I did, as you can see, I had the Sabila cards, and the first thing I wanted to take a look at was that Hangman, because that Hangman has been like haunting me. I'm like getting real sick of the Hangman. It's a good thing, but sometimes too much of a good thing is not a good thing. And I laid the Sabila cards out, and this is the second time I'm recording this video because for whatever reason the first time it didn't come up. But I laid the Sabila cards, and a most extraordinary trio came up. And when they came up, I said, let me go grab the camera and record this because I think there's something good in it. And what came up was Fortune, the Stanza, and Fidelity, or Loyalty. I thought that was a very odd trio to come out on a card that is telling us to stop, to reflect, suspend our beliefs, and try to view things in a different way. And what I'm getting is that when we do this, this is fortunate for us. This is going to benefit us. It's going to allow us to reassess, rethink really what it means to be intimate in a relationship. And that basically what it boils down to is fidelity. But the other message is I need to ask myself, what am I going to consider a fortunate partnership? Yes? And I need to learn, we need to learn not to compartmentalize things, to learn to speak of your wishes, your needs, your desires, to learn to be intimate first with yourself. If you can't be intimate with yourself and acknowledge those things that you need to feel like a better person or a whole person, nobody else can do that for you. If you can't articulate what those things are to your partner, then they're not going to know. And that you should remain loyal to those things. If that's really what you feel, if that's really what you know you need, then stand by that and don't allow anybody to come in and make you question those things. I think sometimes in a relationship, there's so many compromises made that your authentic self, your true self, your own wants and desires and needs get pushed down to the wayside. They get trampled on, or you feel as if, you're not being heard. Be loyal to yourself. The next card I wanted to look at was that stinking Four of Cups. And the message that I got, amore, the belvedere, and the Nari, the safe. This is self-explanatory. Love. Now, this card has been telling us for the past couple of readings, don't perhaps accept the first offer that comes along, that we are bored with what we are being offered. Superficiality is just not going to do it for us anymore. We want something new that is going to provide us the opportunity. We want something new that's going to provide us an opportunity for self-growth and expansion. Yes. And that perhaps we should concentrate on finding out what those things really are that we need in order to gain that self-growth and expansion. It is about love, finding those things, having support, emotional support, feeling as though you have a safe place to fall when you want to express your desires. And sometimes we're afraid to tell people the things that we really want because of fear of being judged or for fear of being laughed at. But that love is, if it's unconditional love, is the way that that's going to happen. And we all know that unconditional love is difficult to come by. That's why these things are so popular in the world. Man's best friend, because they love you unconditionally. They're loyal. To be on the lookout for anything, if it's some type of inspiration that is going to help you to be able to accept those things about yourself that you require in order to achieve that self-growth, and in terms of working towards being the best person that you can be. And that perhaps in some ways you may need to keep some things to yourself, even though I'm telling you, you want to express those things, but perhaps it might be best to keep some of those things to yourself for a time being. And the message that I'm getting with this is because, and I was just having this conversation with someone the other day, we were discussing that when most people meet another person, the attitude or the belief is that, I'm not going to trust that person until they prove I can trust them. And what that implies is that that person's not trustworthy from the get-go. You just don't trust that person from the get-go, that they're not worthy of your trust. And I am the complete opposite. I come in meeting people 100% with trust, and I keep it that way until they decide they don't want it that way anymore, either by actions or things said. However, this has caused me a lot of heartache and grief in my life, but I do feel that it is the key to being able to find and have the kind of relationship that I want. So that may require me not putting myself out so much there, because I do have a tendency to attach too quickly. This is true. I know that. But that ultimately, if this person's the right person for me, once I do let everything out, those things are going to be safe with them. I should have no fear. It's just getting to that point. The High Priestess, as I was saying, she doesn't bode well in a romance reading. She's kind of like the virgin whore. Guys are extremely intrigued by her. She's mysterious. She's the holder of secrets and secret knowledge and esoteric wisdom, and she can drive men insane with her mystery. But by the same token, there's something about her that kind of puts men off. They won't touch her. They won't enter into a relationship with her. They will probably forever be fascinated with her. But it's like the virgin whore. She's got that knowledge. You want to know what it is, but she's too pure for you to touch. Anyway, what I got was the Great Consolation. the reunion, and the alegria, happiness. Falling upon this card, I take this to mean that I am going to have to reach way back in myself, have a reunion with myself, and perhaps the spirit of my father, and think over the things that my father represented to me, and how is it that I'm going to try to manifest this or find the person who's going to have these type of qualities that I'm seeking, because that's going to be a consolation to me. That's what my soul needs. This reunion of myself, going back to my childhood, invoking those memories and those feelings of being safe, of being nurtured, of being guided, of being led, of being protected, those things. And this is how I'm going to bring about happiness within myself. The second message, as it relates to a partnership, not all of us were fortunate enough to have great relationships with our parents. Some people didn't have parents. So perhaps this is a yearning to know what those things are and what they really mean. That perhaps there's something missing in your heart because you have not experienced these kinds of things. That you too are going to have to do a reunion of sorts and try to get in touch with those feelings of maybe loss, betrayal, abandonment, loneliness. Yeah. And that is the way for you to reach happiness as well. You know, and I was thinking, because I'm kind of separated from this person that's been transiting in and out around, kind of swirling around. It's like swirling around the toilet bowl. It's like the tidy bowl, man. It's kind of here and then not, and then here and then not. That maybe a reunion is coming, and I'm not looking at this as in a physical reunion, but it could be a reunion in terms of communicating with one another. It could be a text, it could be an email, it could be a letter. It may even be, meeting face to face. I'm not saying that this reunion is going to lead to us actually being together. I'm not seeing that in the cards, but maybe that reunion with this person is what I need to be able to move forward on. I dream about this person a lot. I don't think we're going to meet face to face, but I think we communicate on another level through dreams. And in thinking about this through this process, it is making my heart a little bit lighter right now. So I was feeling kind of sad. What I do think is that something good's going to come out of this, because I have two aces. And to me, these two aces in this spread are saying to me that I need to reconcile my heart and my head, my wants, my needs, and my desires with my expectations and logic. Yes? Because really, there is no perfect anything. And I'm not the kind of person who doesn't have a grip on reality. I mean, fantasy is great. It sparks all kinds of creative things, fantasy and dreams. But you have to be able to balance those things so that you have real expectations and be able to use your logic to discern what's real and what's not real. I think that the reconciliation of head and heart, trying to align to become your true authentic self, is really a very, very difficult thing. See that guy? He's got that bandage on his head. He's holding those wands and he's kind of looking over his shoulder. He looks tired. He looks beat, And it's as if those wands behind him are kind of like a barrier where this is where I'm going to rest and I'm not going to let anything else in. And this can definitely be the attitude or the approach when we enter into a relationship, the beginnings of a relationship, or even if it's been a long relationship, And for whatever reason, our hopes and dreams have been tamped down. And we feel as though we're no longer appreciated and respected and we're honored. And we think, well, maybe, you know, if we leave this situation, or, you know, if we work on this situation, you know, it'll probably go back to the way it was before. That's the card of being on guard and perhaps of expecting things to repeat themselves. And this is a very, very self-sabotaging idea. It's very difficult to rid ourselves of that because it's part of the ego, and the ego wants to say, well, I already know how this is going to go, and that part of it doesn't want to die. We need to open up our expectations but still remain balanced and logical in those things. This is, you know, balancing those things. So I wanted to look at this card, and after this I'm going to kind of close this out. I'm going to show you the two cards that came up with the Heart Oracle deck. What I got on top of the Nine of Wands was the card that represents frustration and irritation and even anger. And sometimes we have to stop and think, reflect, change our perspective, and realize that we're not angry really with the other person, we're really angry with ourselves because we compromised and we gave up a part of our true authentic self. And I'm not saying that you should fight to become your true authentic self. And you're going to have to compromise to do that, but you shouldn't have to give up so much that you end up losing your dream, that the fire is tamped down. The Limoneo, and that's what they're saying, is that this card is telling you to keep the desire, to learn about the intimacy of being intimate with yourself first, and allowing yourself to be okay with the things that you want and need. Even if you think somebody's going to laugh at you, you know, accept those things. Because if you can't accept them within yourself, nobody else is going to be able to accept those. And that this is indeed the path to your true authentic self. This is the true home or true house of the heart being represented here. So I flipped the cards, and what came out was the Believe and Succeed card. And this was the card that I used to wrap up the reading because I felt that there was something else missing. And what this card says to me is that, you know, indeed, if you can maintain that belief and, you know, stick it out through thick and thin, that you will succeed in what it is that you want. It's going to be a long, hard-fought battle. You know what? But it's going to be worth it. And the reason I know this is because what came up on the bottom of the deck was the Dreams Come True card. Dreams coming true. Is that not beautiful? Is that not beautiful? I don't know why I can't get it in the center. There it is. Is that not beautiful? So that is the message that I have for you today. I want to thank the lovely Christelle for sparking this reading. I feel that this has opened up some doors for me in order to heal those wounded parts of myself that have to do with my father and finding a relationship. And this has done me a world of good, and I hope that it can do you a world of good as well. So until next time, travelers, be good to yourselves, and namaste.